Welcome back, deep divers. Settle in, because today we're starting with something really captivating.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine this. The distant, sort of harmonious sounds of a zither and a flute drifting through a misty wilderness.
Nice image. Very evocative.
It's a beautiful sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as we're going to find out, even the most, serene music can mask layers of incredible tension and profound sorrow.
Indeed. We're embarking on a deep dive into this fascinating world, martial arts, chivalry, loyalty, some really unexpected wisdom.
All through the lens of one chapter, right? From
Yeah.
the smiling, proud wanderer.
Exactly, a pivotal chapter. And our mission today really is to unpack how these seemingly simple ideas, good and evil, how they get incredibly complex when personal experience clashes with these really rigid rules.
We're going to explore bonds that kind of cut across the usual divides,
Yes,
right? And the hidden meanings you can find in art.
And how these characters navigate this world where, honestly, a secret manuscript can be way more dangerous than just a sword fight.
It's all coming from Chapter 7 today. A really rich, complex part of the story that challenges how we think about heroes and villains.
It really does. It highlights the human side of it all amidst the epic martial arts stuff.
It forces you to question those labels, definitely. Who's really the
Okay.
good guy? Who's the bad guy?
The lines get blurred, very blurred.
Okay, so let's dig in. We start with Ling Hu Chong. He's been badly injured, but he's making this incredibly fast recovery.
It's unbelievable, yeah.
What's behind that from a martial arts view? Is it just plot armor?
Huh. Well, maybe a little, but it's explained. There's the heavenly connecting glue, these white cloud bear gallbladder pills.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
Okay.
Plus, he's young, he's got strong inner energy from his training. It all combines.
Right, so it sets him up for what comes next. He's not down for long.
Exactly. His resilience is key here.
And he's kind of stuck with Yilin, this Buddhist nun, who's very strictly vegetarian.
Yes, fair.
And apparently he's begging her for meat, fish, anything,
Yeah.
but she's not having it.
Nope. Her principles are absolute on that. No killing.
So they end up just eating watermelons, this poor injured guy craving meat.
Just watermelons. It's kind of funny, but it also highlights her character, that moral rigidity against the martial world's pragmatism.
It's more than just diet for her, it's core belief.
Absolutely. Non-negotiable.
There was also that anecdote, the one about the fireflies. Starts out so charming.
Oh, right. Ling Hu Chang catching thousands of them with his junior apprentice sister.
Hanging them in gauze bags like little stars in her bed. So sweet.
But then it turns, doesn't it? The next day, they're all dead.
Yeah. And Yulin gets really philosophical.
Deeply affected. She talks about mortality. Some die sooner, some die later. Everyone dies eventually. Buddha's teachings on suffering and death.
It's quite a shift from catching fireflies. Anchors it in something profound.
It really does.
Yeah.
A moment of universal truth right there.
She gets pretty quiet after that. And speaking of unspoken things, that scene with the shooting star wish,
Ah, yes. The ribbon tying.
she tries the ritual, tying a knot as the star falls. Her fingers are fast, but...
She doesn't make a wish. She was too focused on just tying the knot itself.
And then she glances at Ling Hu Chang and blushes immediately. What's going on there?
Well, it's all unspoken, isn't it? The wish she couldn't make, the glance, the blush. It speaks volumes.
Forbidden desires, maybe. Something she can't even admit to herself.
Exactly. Very human, very relatable, especially in this world of strict codes and rules. Raw emotion cutting through.
And then the mood shifts again. Suddenly this music appears out of the wilderness. Zither and flute.
Beautiful, powerful music.
And we meet this incredibly unlikely pair playing it. Liu Zhengfeng.
From the good guy Hengshan Sword School.
And Kuai Yang.
An elder from the bad guy demon cult.
Together, making music. That's got to be a shock in their world.
Huge shock. It completely subverts expectations. Enemies sharing this moment of harmony.
And the music itself, Smiling Proud Wanderer. It changes, right? Starts smooth and gets...
Yeah, it implies battle, sadness. Then it builds into this, magnificent orchestral sound. It tells a story.
And it hits Ling Hu Chang hard. Feelings of grief and sadness, it says. Yilin starts crying.
See? It's more than just pretty notes. It's tapping into something deep emotionally.
It really shows their bond, Liu Zhengfeng and Kuai Yang's, beyond factions.
Absolutely. Unsurpassed devotion, graceful friendship in music. It's profound.
And that line from Liu Zhengfeng.
Having met the soulmate in his living, one would die with no regrets. Powerful stuff.
It says everything about their connection. True friendship ignoring the dividing lines.
But that friendship has a terrible cost. We find out Lu Zhengfeng's family was wiped out.
By the Songshan Sword School, and both he and Kuai Yang are dying from wounds.
Yeah, mortally wounded.
So they make this pact to die together, bursting their own arteries.
It's incredibly tragic, but also defiant. A final statement about their bond.
It's not despair, it's resolve.
Exactly. It's a testament to their connection being stronger than any sect loyalty. Really makes you think, what matters more? Rules or human connection?
And speaking of rules and cruelty, enter the antagonist.
Great Songyang Palm Fei Bin.
From the Songshan School, arrogant, nasty piece of work.
Right away, he threatens Kuai Fan, Kuai Yang's young granddaughter, threatens to disfigure her.
Horrible. His arrival just poisons the scene.
He embodies that rigid cruelty they defied, and it puts Ling Huchang in a terrible spot.
Yeah, this impossible choice. He owes Kuai Yang for saving his life earlier.
But his own sect forbids any dealing with the demon cult. Total conflict.
Personal debt versus sect rules. The classic Wuxia dilemma. What's truly chivalrous here?
It's a moral maze for him.
And Kuai Fan, oh man, she acts so bravely, sacrifices herself.
Throws herself onto Fei Bin's sword to protect her grandfather.
Just brutal. An innocent life lost because of these conflicts.
Her death just deepens Ling Huchang's struggle, right?
Yeah.
He sees this pure sacrifice caused by someone supposedly on the chivalrous side. It messes with the simple good versus evil narrative he's been taught.
And Ling Huchang, even injured, he's got to think fast to save Yulin and himself.
He uses his words, his wit, verbal sparring with Fei Bin.
Appeals to reputation, right? Like, if I kill her, people will say, Huashan bullies juniors. Clever stuff.
It shows his intelligence goes beyond just fighting. He knows how to play the game, use reputation, manage perceptions. That's a skill too.
Especially when you're outmatched physically.
Exactly. Wit as a weapon.
Then, just as things couldn't get more tense, another sound arrives. A hukin.
That melancholy two-stringed fiddle.
Signaling, great Mr. Mo, headmaster of Hengshan, looks frail, almost skeletal.
But then, boom, this magical and ghost-like attack.
The magical 13 phantom stances of Hengshan Mist takes out Fei Bin instantly.
Swift, deadly, completely unexpected. Especially since he pretended not to get along with Lu Zhengfeng earlier.
Quite the entrance, and quite the contrast.
Yeah, because Lu Zhengfeng and Kuai Yang thought his music was too vulgar, too depressing.
Right. So, amazing fighter, but maybe not the most refined musician in their eyes.
It shows that mastery in one art doesn't mean mastery or even taste in another. Nuance again. Power in unexpected places.
Before they die, Lu and Kuai have this final request for Ling Huchang.
Preserve the music score. The Smiling Proud Wanderer.
They call it their ultimate lifelong work. So unique, nothing like it in a millennium.
For them, this music is everything. More valuable than any secret technique.
And the backstory of the music itself is wild. Part of it, the Guangling song,
Kuai Yang literally dug it up from ancient tombs, like 29 of them.
to find the manuscript in Kai's tomb, disproving that old lament that the song was lost forever.
It adds this whole layer of, like, musical archaeology to the story.
Yeah.
Passion driving someone to dig up graves for a song.
Amazing dedication. Then Ling Huchang does something pragmatic. He messes up Fei Bin's wound.
With his own sword, yeah.
Yeah.
To hide Mr. Mo's involvement.
Protect his reputation. It's kind of unsettling, but makes sense in their world.
Yelin's reaction says it all. Why are there so many schemes? It's really difficult.
Exactly. It shows the complexity. Self-preservation, reputation, layered motives. Even the good guys aren't always clean.
It highlights that constant need to manage appearances in the martial world.
The layers just keep coming. Next, Ling Huchang overhears this awful scene.
The Lin couple being interrogated, tortured.
By Hunchback of the North, Mu Gafeng. He wants the evil resisting sword manuscript.
The manuscript, the ultimate MacGuffin here. This legendary sword art everyone's after.
Mu Gaofeng, Yukong Hai. They're desperate for it. Represents ultimate power.
And the cost of that pursuit is laid bare right here. The torture.
But the Lin couple, they won't break. Incredible loyalty.
They refuse to reveal where it is, even under torture. They die protecting their family legacy.
Another powerful sacrifice. Like Lu and Kuai, loyalty over life itself makes you question what real power is. The sword art or that kind of conviction.
It's a deep question the story keeps posing.
Ling Huchang steps in again, using his brain, not his sword,
Right, he uses his master's name, Yu Buquan's reputation.
to scare off Mu Gaofeng. Stops the torture, prevents more deaths.
Another clever, non-violent solution. He's learning how to use the system, the power dynamics, the reputations.
He understands influence can be as strong as force.
Definitely.
Lin Zenen's dying words to Ling Huchang, they're chilling, for his son, Lin Pingxi.
He reveals the location. Old Lin Hao's basement. But with a dire warning.
For all my descendants, you shall never read it, or great misfortune will fall upon you.
Whoa.
Yeah, intense. Why would this amazing art bring misfortune? Adds this layer of mystery, destiny, maybe a curse.
And Ling Huchang's reaction is interesting too. He feels kind of insulted.
Right, like why would they assume he'd covet it? It shows his own values are different from the greed driving everyone else. He gets that some power isn't worth having.
Okay, so eventually, Ling Huchang gets back to Huashan, home base.
And reunion time with his master, Yu Buquan, the gentleman's sword.
Who seems calm, refined, even when fighting Yu Kanghai earlier. But he is not happy with Ling Huchang.
Oh no, deeply disappointed. It's like the polite but stern scolding.
It's a real clash of ideals brewing here. Yu Buquan, the gentleman, has very black and white views.
Very rigid. He lists Ling Huchang's supposed crimes. Glib tongue. No decency.
Like that joke, once seeing a nun, one loses all bets. Or hiding Yilin and Kuaifan under a quilt.
Minor stuff, really. But the big one, the core issue for Yu Buquan.
His failure to slay evil with no hesitation, meaning not killing Kuaifan.
Exactly. That's the absolute rule Ling Huchang broke in his eyes. Kill the demon girl, no questions asked.
And that's Ling Huchang's whole internal conflict right there, isn't it?
Totally. He just saw friendship across the divide, saw innocence in the demon girl.
How does he square that with his master saying just kill based on the label?
He can't. His experiences contradict the rigid doctrine. Good and evil got complicated for him out there.
This clash between his conscience and his master's dogma, it's huge for his character arc.
A defining moment. Choosing between rules and personal morality.
So the punishment, severe.
Meditating facing a wall for a whole year to think it through.
Ouch. And Yu Lingzhan, his junior sister, is worried but also kind of funny about his isolation.
Her reactions add that human touch, yeah. But it's harsh. Can you really force someone to change their core beliefs by making them stare at a wall?
Probably not. Seems more likely to make him resent the rules.
It questions that whole method of discipline, really.
But even facing the wall, Ling Huchang finds ways to be Ling Huchang.
Yeah. Learning Tian Boguang's knife technique. Genius.
By deliberately provoking him, pretending to compare the moves to some made-up Jade Maiden's golden needle sword art from his master's wife.
Complete with affectedly bashful moves and postures of a lady. Hilarious.
Tricks Tian Boguang into demonstrating the whole thing just to prove him wrong.
It's classic Ling Huchang. Unconventional, witty, uses psychology, learning outside the box again.
That adaptability is going to be important for him.
For sure.
And we finally meet Madame Yu properly, Ningzi Mangzi, Yu Buquan's wife.
And she's no slouch herself. A very skilled martial artist. Insightful, too.
She demonstrates this new sword move she created. Unnamed at first, later called unrivaled and unmatched, the Thrust of Ning.
And the demonstration is incredible. She uses her inner energy.
Pushes it so hard the sword breaks after the tip just touches Ling Huchang's chest. Controlled power.
Exactly. Shatters the sword but barely touches him. That's insane inner energy manipulation. Precision, control, not just brute force.
Shows real mastery can be subtle, deep understanding.
A masterclass, really.
Then, as Lin Pingxi joins the Huashan school, they list the 7 prohibitions.
The rules of the sect.
And they really highlight why Ling Huchang is in trouble, like reckless collaboration with gangsters or evil and wicked is prohibited.
Yep, that's the rule he fundamentally broke, according to the sex code, by helping Kuai-Yang and Kuai-Fian.
It frames that central conflict perfectly. The rigid rules versus the messy reality he experienced.
He's learned evil isn't always who they say it is, and that's put him directly at odds with his school's foundation.
So, as you can see, I mean, this deep dive really has shown this huge gap, right, between the strict codes and the messy truth of human relationships, personal morality.
We've seen kindness crossing those divides, art transcending conflict, and just the individual conscience struggling against these fixed ideas.
The real heroes and villains, maybe not defined by their SEP labels at all.
It's more about, the quiet acts of loyalty, the damage done by rigid thinking.
This journey through Chapter 7 really hammers home that good and evil. It's just not simple.
Not at all. In a world where chivalry can mask cruelty and someone labeled evil shows deep loyalty and friendship. How do you decide?
Yeah, how do you draw that line? Is it just following the rules, or is it about, the actions of a compassionate heart?
This deep dive definitely suggests the biggest fights aren't always with swords. Maybe they're internal, within your own sense of right and wrong.
Definitely something to chew on. A great place to leave it until our next deep dive.